outside. It's cold
Laura,
outside.
Lower your voice.
I will not lower my voice. Don't tell me to lower my voice. You lower your voice.
That's 5. 5. Thank you so much, everyone.
That's 10, Don.
Ha.
Alright, so I finally got a chance to watch You're a Monster, a movie that I did not think was going to be what it ended up being. So this movie stars the beautiful and very talented Melissa Barrera. I am a big fan of Melissa Barrera. I try to check out anything that she's in if it is not a musical, because I do know she's been in some musicals, but I'm not a musical guy, so I will not trust myself out to try to watch a musical. Now, here's the thing with this movie, right? I thought it was going to be something very different. I thought this was going to be like a Beauty and the Beast thing. This ended up being something that was like way more, I don't want to say deeper than that, because Beauty and the Beast does have like a very deep-ish message behind it. But this movie was actually pretty funny. It's pretty fun. And I actually kind of like the messaging behind it. I kind of like the deeper moments behind it. I thought this movie was way better than it had any business being for what it was. And at the end of it, I was like, okay, I'm into this. Now, this movie is definitely very, is very, what do you want to call it? Eccentric? Very eccentric. It's definitely an acquired taste. I think, so first off, for those that don't know, this movie is basically about a very submissive, quiet, shy, soft-spoken girl who finds out that she has cancer, right? And she's a theater chick. She's in plays. Her ex-boyfriend at the time was leading a play that she helped, and she was going to star in it. After she finds out that she has cancer, the boyfriend figures out that, well, not figures out, finds out that he just can't handle that, and he leaves. And comes to find out, she finds out that she has like this beast, which is, it seems, I don't want to get into spoiler territory, but why not? Sure. Turns out this beast, in my opinion, because I guess it is up to interpretation, even though it's not really, this beast, which ends up being like a metaphor for just like, you know, the beast inside all of us, I guess, like that raw anger, you know, get after it, like just that raw human animalistic emotion I feel like we all have inside of us. She ends up discovering and comes out of her closet. And it's kind of looked at as kind of like an imaginary friend thing, but at least from what I interpreted with it, and I could be completely off with that, by the end of the movie I kind of came to understand that, okay, so the beast the entire time was kind of just like, it's like a metaphor for her, like, you know, her anger, or not even her anger, just the side of her that's more, it's not with the shenanigans, more of her like animalistic side. So throughout this movie, a bunch of weird things happen with her and the beast. They kind of bond with each other, which you can also kind of look as a metaphor for her kind of just trying to slowly accept that side of her and not just be so soft-spoken and so submissive, you know, kind of starting to embrace that, you know, anger part of her, kind of embrace that no nonsense part of her. Seems like this whole movie is kind of just telling that tale of that fight that you kind of play with that version of yourself if you are somebody that is a bit submissive, a bit soft-spoken. And there's a lot of fun moments. I think there's a lot of cute little moments throughout this movie. I guess you could also tag this movie as part of the whole good for her genre that seems to be a thing that there's a lot of them coming out recently, which I'm not mad at. Like, I like Magpie. I like this movie, so like, you know, 2 for 2 so far as things that I've watched and reviewed on this channel. I guess is technically part of the good for her universe. Now, there was a sequence in this movie that I was like, oh, okay, where she fucks the monster. Now, that was the part of the movie where I was kind of like, oh, maybe my theory is off. Maybe like, 'cause that's a little, even like, I love horror movies, so I've seen some crazy off the wall batshit sick shit. Like I've seen my fair share, but even that sequence was kind of like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. It was because I knew it could happen, but when it did, it was kind of just threw me off. And it's not like, you know, I hate that I'm sounding like a prude, but that kind of was like, oh, okay, that's certainly something. But outside of that, I think this movie, it's a good movie. It is. It's a good movie. Like I said, the way I took it, and maybe I'm completely off the mark. Maybe this monster really was like her imaginary friend from way back in the day. I took this monster just to be a metaphor for her inner demon, like her inner monster within herself. And the movie was kind of just her learning to find that monster within herself in a
Push the goddamn button!
Push the goddamn button!
You heard what she said.
I want to say a healthy way, even though the movie ended with it not being much of a healthy way, but I actually kind of liked the ending for what it's worth. It was fun for me. So basically the way the movie ends, right, is come to find out that her boyfriend that broke up with her after they found out that she had cancer. Turns out that the whole time he was cheating on her with her best friend, or her old best friend that she was with while she, first found out she had cancer. That was kind of somewhat taking care of her a little bit. And she ends up going crazy. She ends up colluding with the new lead actress of the play and ended up taking her spot without him knowing. So he went to like the back in between acts when they're like, changing and stuff like that. He went crazy, and it kind of like does this thing where the monster is like next to her, like, what are you gonna do? Like, that type of thing. Not literally, but like he was kind of like, like it's like this the ultimatum. Are you gonna let that beast out or not? And she let the beast out. And when the curtains came back up, homeboy was not of this earth anymore, and she proceeded to sing a note, which was it was funny too, because like the person in the crowd, I forget what exactly he said, but obviously people were reacting to this dead body, this corpse that's next to her while she's singing, and being like, yo, is this real? Is this fake? Like, what is going on? And the guy in the crowd kind of said something along the lines of like, this is kind of crazy, and I don't know what the hell is happening, and this is kind of weird, but I'm into it. And that was kind of like, that was like my overall thoughts. I'm gonna find a clip, see if I can play it.
Is this a part of the show? I don't know, but I'm so into it.
What he said in that moment was kind of like just my overall thoughts on the movie. It's like, this was a weird ride. It has some funny moments, has some weird moments, has some uncomfortable moments. Melissa Barrera, I think she did a great job. Tommy Dewey also, really good job. Like, the performances in this I thought were also like really good. Like I was into this. But at the end of the day, this is a movie that I think is definitely not gonna be for everybody, for sure. Certain people are gonna watch this movie and gonna be like, yo, what the hell did you just tell me to go watch? It's just not. It's an acquired taste, and not in a bad acquired taste. You just kind of have to open your mind a little bit more. This is one of those movies where you kind of like open your mind a little bit more, try not to take it so serious, but also understand that there is some like, undertone with it, with some somewhat serious subject matter that they kind of played tongue-in-cheek with, that I actually really did enjoy. But overall, I was a big fan of this movie. I definitely recommend it. It's a movie that kind of flew under the radar a little bit. I don't hear that many people talking about it. I'm surprised. I thought this movie was going to have a little bit more buzz behind it, but I don't even think, did this get a theatrical release? I actually think it did, because I do remember seeing it in my local theater. So it actually did get a theatrical release, and I don't know when it's going to end up on whatever. I feel like if this hits on Netflix, they might have them one. I don't know where this is going to end up. Hopefully it ends up on Netflix. If this can end up on Netflix, they might have them one, because this is a special movie. I think this is one of those movies where you definitely have to watch. It is unique enough. It's not reinventing the formula on anything, but I do think it's interesting enough. It has enough going for it that is kind of like, special in its own way. And then on top of the fact that Melissa Barrera just continues to impress, and it's just worth the watch just for her alone. She is magnificent in this movie. So with that being said, grade rating, we're going to give this movie a smooth B. Yeah, B. I like B. Yeah, let's give this a B. Give it a B. Now that's going to do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. You already know what to do. Until my next one, I will see y'all. When I see y'all, take care of yourselves. Eat y'all, I don't know, what should y'all eat? What I'm gonna tell y'all to eat? Eat y'all gummy worms. I don't know why I thought of gummy worms. I don't even like those anymore. Let me clarify, anymore. I don't like any type of sugary candy anymore. Used to love them, not anymore. Take care of yourselves.